particularly particularly the focus will be on the precision error. So accuracy error, RK has equipped you properly and you have understood it clearly. And you also know how to eliminate the accuracy related error, which is mainly the bias, linearity, and stability, right? So now our headache is how can we overcome or control the repeatability and reproducibility error, right? And that will make your gauge R and R value a higher one, right? And also we'll also try to understand what is resolution and what is NDC, right? And then a tool that can help you measure the repeatability and the reproducibility error is gauge R and R. That also we'll see along with a real case study. So any data you collect, that will have two type of variation. One is your process variation, another one is measurement variation. What is your project? Reducing process variation. If you can do it well, if you keep the measurement variation under control, right? The prescription is should be less than 10%. It was given by AAAG, and that is what we are going to understand now. So the aim of Six Sigma project is to reduce the process variation. You can do it well when you reduce the measurement error, right? So measurement system analysis helps in reducing the measurement error. Already I told you, when you are driving, you must continuously see the road and drive. If you don't see the road and still continue driving, you will hit the maybe meet with some accidents. So instead, same way, when you are doing the project, you must continuously measure correctly, continuously see the problem correctly. If you allow a lot of error to dominate in your reading, and you may go out of the road and may not reach the destination, right? So the MSA ensures the Six Sigma team focus accurately and precisely on the process variation and ensures your improvement efforts are used efficiently to reduce the process variation. Otherwise, you may think you have reduced and you have solved the problem, but actually it may not get solved. So you can see the process conditions better and you can understand the process conditions better with MSA, measurement system analysis. It is not measurement analysis, it is measurement system analysis because there are many factors involved. So variation can be process, come from measurement. And within measurement, there could be accuracy related problem or accuracy related error or precision related error. This was already taught, bias, linearity, and stability. But for precision, it can be of two types. It is repeatability. Another one is reproducibility. In simple term, you can call repeatability as the error within appraiser. Reproducibility as the error between appraiser. And some books might call repeatability error as equipment variation. It doesn't mean the error comes only from equipment. The error always comes from the system, right? It can be anything that is going wrong. It can be equipment, it can be operator, it can be the other parts of the system. Similarly, reproducibility is called as operator variation. Again, it doesn't mean the source is only operator. It can be anything, but this is how the literature says, right? So repeatability is one thing, reproducibility is one thing, and both are collectively called precision error. And now before getting into the repeatability as well as reproducibility, so resolution. What is resolution? The minimum reading or the lowest value of the measurement for which your equipment is sensible, right? The lowest reading for which your equipment can respond, and that is called resolution. And definition goes like this: the incremental ability of a system, measurement system, to discriminate between measurement value. This is nothing but your least count, you call it, right? Let me put it in a very simple way. Imagine you are using a dial gauge or a vernier, and one reading you have taken from the vernier is 2.1. One reading is 2.1. You understand that the immediate next reading, possible reading is 2.2. And so the resolution is the difference between the two consecutive possible reading. So what is the difference here? 0.1. So as far as the first equipment is concerned, the resolution is 0.1. Suppose if you have some other gauge where the readings comes in two decimals. 2.01 is the first reading, and the immediate next possible reading is 2.02. And so what will be the resolution? 0.01. And this is what you call it least count. Hope the resolution is understood. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And now, if you have a better resolution, your NDC will be automatically better. Because it is the resolution which helps you to discriminate the products, discriminate the good and bad, and discriminate the different, ranges. For example, see here, I measure my products between 5.1 and 5.5. I take about 20 reading. How many readings are showing 5.1? Only one reading. How many readings I have as 5.2? There are 4 readings. Similarly, for 5.3, how many readings I have? Here about 6 readings. It goes similarly, 5.4 is 3, 5.5 is 2. Now, what do you understand by plotting like this? You understand there are only 5 categories of readings you have. You measure 20 parts, but ultimately, how many categories of reading you have? You only have 5 categories. That means your NDC is 5. Your NDC is 5. NDC is called number of distinct data categories. For example, we want you to rate our training program. Somebody is saying it is good, somebody says very good, and somebody says excellent, and somebody says it is bad, and somebody says it is very bad. Now, what is the NDC here? From very bad to excellent, NDC is again 5, isn't it? There are 5 different categories of readings I am able to collect using my measurement. So NDC is 5. If you want more NDC, you have to go for a better resolution, an equipment with a better resolution. The industry standard is your NDC 5. Industry standard is your NDC should be minimum 5. And who gives this standard? Automotive Industry Action Group, shortly called as AIAG. And for continuous data, how do I calculate NDC? There is a formula here. 1.41 into sigma of the parts divided by sigma of the gauge. And we'll show you what is sigma of parts and sigma of gauge with the report of the gauge, with the gauge study report. And once the values are known, you can understand the NDC, and the requirement is minimum 5. Hope the NDC is understood. Am I right? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Repeatability. So repeatability, we know it is the error within an appraiser. What is error within appraiser? Suppose if I measure a product multiple times, I measure only one product, same product, but you want me to measure multiple times. Let's imagine I measure 10 times. Measuring part is same, measuring equipment is same, operator also same. Now tell me, can all the 10 readings be same? In ideal
May or may not.
in ideal condition, it should be same. Actually, when people measure, even if you give the same part, they will give different readings. If for the same part measured 10 times, when I give different readings or 10 different readings, the error I am committing is called repeatability error. Inconsistency within the appraiser or inconsistency of appraiser to measure the same part multiple times with the same measurement system is called repeatability error. All of you understand what is repeatability error?
Yes.
Right. Suppose if I measure consistently, what do I mean by consistent? The product is 100 mm. You want me to measure it 3 times. All 3 times I'm giving, same reading, 100, 100, 100. Original value is 100. My measured value is also 100. Now I am accurate. And I gave 3 reading. All 3 readings are same. I'm not only accurate, I'm also repeatable. If all my 3 readings are same, 100, 100, and 100, can somebody tell me what will be the variation here when all the 3 readings are same? What is the amount of variation you are observing?
Zero.
Zero.
Zero. Whether you calculate range or you calculate standard deviation, you will get zero if all the readings are same. So ideal condition, if the standard deviation is zero or the variation is zero, you can understand repeatability is zero. But variation will never become zero. That means there will be a repeatability error. That means you have to measure it. You have to control it, right? So this is the definition for repeatability. And now there are two curves I'm showing. One red color curve and one black color curve. And tell me, black color is using one measurement system. Green is using another measurement system. Which measurement system is more repeatable? Whether it is gauge A or gauge B.
So red color.
Red color is repeatable. Are you sure?
Gauge A. Gauge A.
Gauge A is more repeatable. How do you say gauge A is more repeatable?
Because number of times it achieved same one. Repeatable.
Sigma value is less.
Sigma is less. Beautiful. The spread in the curve is less in black color curve than the green color curve. If you look at the green color curve, can you see the spread is too much? Spread is too much means variation is too much. Variation is too much means inconsistency. And this inconsistency is repeatability because same appraiser is measuring many times. If same appraiser measure many times, the error committed is repeatability. Hope it is understood. Clear? Yes?
Yes.
And now this diagram, what is this diagram? Imagine you measured a part so many times. Let us say so same part you measured 20 times. Only thing is you don't know that you are measuring the same part 20 times. Now you gave me 20 different readings. Now what will I do? I will plot a histogram or I will visualize your data. I will calculate the average of your 20 reading. That average is here. That average is here. And now when I visualize, you can see your data appearing like a bell. And now I know in this bell, the standard deviation will definitely speak about the variation in your data. We are master in it, right? So I calculate the standard deviation. That standard deviation is called repeatability standard deviation. So repeatability error can be understood, can be calculated if the repeatability standard deviation is calculated. See here, repeatability is related to the standard deviation of the measured value. And who was measured? Same appraiser. Is this graph understood?
Yes, sir.
Now I want one of you to read out the definition of the reproducibility. Please read out.
Reproducibility is the consistency of different appraisers in measuring the same part with the same measurement system. It is related to standard deviation of the distribution of appraiser averages.
Very good. So Pankaj has read the statement. See now, imagine all of us are measuring. And let us say Pankaj is asked to measure a particular dimension, particular product. So Pankaj has measured it and he says measurement is 100. And now I am measuring. I am saying 105. Pankaj is telling 100 and I am saying 105. And now we are not agreeing to each other. We are not, consistent. No, if we both are working for the same company, measuring the same thing, but we are not, agreeing to each other. This disagreement is called reproducibility error. He is saying 100 and I am saying 105. And now there is a variation. How do I understand the variation? Either I should calculate the range or I should calculate the standard deviation or I should calculate the variance, right? So standard deviation is best to measure and that is why it is written here. It is related to the standard deviation of distribution of appraiser averages. What is the question of average here? If I take only one reading and Pankaj takes one reading, I can easily calculate the range, he can easily calculate the standard deviation. Suppose if Pankaj takes 10 reading and I also take 10 reading, how do I find out the variation? All 10 readings of Pankaj, I will take average, and then all 10 readings of mine, I will take the average. Now I know the central value of Pankaj and central value of mine. Now the difference in the central value will represent the reproducibility error. Is that clear?
Yes.
Right. And now there are three people. Appraiser 1 represented in black, appraiser 2 represented in red, and appraiser 3 represented in green. All three appraisers are in the same company. All of them are measuring same part. All of them were given same measuring equipment, same environment. But are they measuring in the same way? Look at that graph and tell me, are they measuring in the same way?
No.
Particularly, who is disagreeing? Who is making lot of disagreement? Is it 1 or 2 or 3?
3.
3 is making lot of disagreement. So I'm not saying that who is correct or who is not correct. I'm only asking who is not agreeing to the 3 is making lot of disagreement. And 1 and 2 you can see some level of agreement. But who is correct? That I don't know. Who is correct? Which tool will help find out who is measuring correctly? Can somebody tell me? If there are 3 people measuring like this, agreement you can understand. But who is measuring correctly? How do you understand? One can be correct,
Again with
two
same.
can be correct, or 3 also can be correct. Yeah, come again.
All three can.
Again, we need to go for standard deviation of all these 3 people.
No. Bias associated with each value. Bias of appraiser 1, bias of appraiser 2, bias of appraiser 3. Whoever is having lower bias, he is considered to be more accurate. Am I right? Or
Right.
no? So whether the readings are correct or not, accurate or not, calculate the bias. Our question is not accurate. Our question is whether it is precise or not. Precise means all of us should tell the same thing. And now to understand this graph, we'll do an activity and then, we'll come back and understand. And now to participate in the activity, I want all of you to come on video and, come on video, and then all of you have to do some measurement. Please come on video. We'll have a small activity.